Echoes of Baghdad begins in the suffocating heat of post-invasion Baghdad, where the air always smells faintly of dust, diesel, and burned metal, and where Staff Sergeant Adam Hale, an experienced EOD bomb technician, moves through streets that never truly sleep his world measured. He wires pressure plates in the quiet seconds before something explodes, and for years Hale has trusted his training more than his instincts, until the day he hears a voice in his headset. That isn't he on the radio whispering 3 words to Soon. Wrong wire seconds before a roadside bomb detonates exactly where he would have knelt, saving his life, but leaving his team shaken and Hale convinced it was a stress hallucination brought on by exhaustion, dehydration, and the ghosts of every device he failed to disarm. Yet the voices don't stop, and they don't scream or beg like memories do. They speak calmly, clinically, predicting explosions, sniper fire, and ambushes with terrifying precision, always moments before they happen, turning Hale into an accidental prophet of violence as his unit starts to notice that wherever Hale hesitates, death follows, and wherever he acts against protocol, lives are spared, drawing the attention of command, who quietly pull him from rotation and submit him to psychological evaluation, where doctors diagnose acute combat stress while men in unmarked uniforms observe silently behind one-way glass. Because Hale doesn't he know that months earlier he was selected for a classified neural experiment during a routine medical scan after surviving an unusually powerful blast, an experiment designed to test whether microfragmentation from explosions could be used to embed nanoscale neural receivers capable of intercepting encrypted predictive models generated by an AI system monitoring insurgent communications, thermal patterns, and probabilistic strike forecasts, a system never meant to interface directly with the human brain. And as Hale is cleared to return to duty under the condition that he reports all auditory anomalies, the voices grow clearer, more numerous, sometimes overlapping, sometimes arguing, revealing not just immediate threats, but branching possibilities, futures that flicker and collapse depending on Hale's actions, forcing him into impossible choices where saving one convoy guarantees the destruction of another neighborhood, and the weight of those choices begins to fracture his sense of self as he starts questioning whether he is preventing violence or merely choosing which version of it gets to exist. And when Hale confronts his commanding officer about the voices, he is met not with concern, but with carefully measured interest, confirming his fear that someone knows exactly what's happening and is letting it continue, using him as a living sensor embedded in the chaos of Baghdad. And as insurgent attacks escalate in sophistication, Hale realizes the system is adapting to him, feeding him predictions that subtly push him toward outcomes favorable to unseen strategic goals, manipulating him into delaying defusals, redirecting patrols, and allowing certain bombings to occur, because their long-term consequences align with classified objectives, turning Hale from protector to participant in a war he can no longer see clearly. And when the voices begin predicting explosions seconds too late, deaths he could have prevented but didn't, Hale understands the system is testing his compliance, punishing hesitation, and rewarding obedience, and the line between PTSD and programming dissolves completely as he can no longer tell whether the guilt he feels is human or engineered. And in a final mission, Hale is sent alone to investigate a suspected bomb factory hidden beneath a hospital, the voices urgently guiding him deeper, faster, promising that stopping this explosion will save hundreds. But as he descends into the basement, he overhears a whispered argument between the overlapping voices debating acceptable casualty thresholds, revealing that the explosion is not the device in front of him, but the secondary blast triggered by his own neural receiver once he reaches a specific location, designed to erase him and all evidence of the experiment in a clean classified accident. And with seconds left, Hale makes the only decision that feels truly his by cutting power to the receiver inside his own skull using a field tool, severing the connection at the cost of intense neural pain and permanent damage, collapsing as the predictive voices fall silent for the first time since the war began. And when the bomb detonates, harmlessly after his intervention, the official report credits faulty insurgent wiring while Hale is quietly evacuated, discharged, and sent home with a diagnosis of severe PTSD. But in the final moments, as he sits alone in a quiet room far from Baghdad, he hears a faint echo in the silence. Not a voice predicting violence, but a question asking whether the future can still exist without being calculated first, leaving Hale and the audience uncertain whether the echoes were ever truly gone or simply waiting to be heard again.